Cordell.
Cordell and Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital, and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day, but when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Time for your Live Nation concert update. Don't miss Deaf Heaven at Emo's May 21st. Drive-by Truckers and Deer Tip at Stubbs Waller Creek Amphitheater June 1st. The Offspring with Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory at Germania Insurance Amphitheater August 24th. And Pantera with Amon Amarth at Germania Insurance Amphitheater September 2nd. Get tickets at livenation.com.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
DQ presents How to Hit Summer's Sweet Spot. The new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu is here. And as the official treat of MLB, we're swinging big with our fan favorite S'mores Blizzard Treat. Plus, new mixing bowl mashup with brownie batter and chocolate chip cookie dough. And even more in our stacked summer lineup. Hurry in today because nothing says summer like baseball and our new Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeart Radio. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas.
Well, wherever you may be listening, this is a feel-good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Light the tower orange because the Texas baseball team wins in Norman and gets rewarded. Texas softball goes for the best opportunity to get into the NCAA championships. The Cowboys will focus on new players and signing a star. We get a game 7 in the NBA, folks. We've got Zach Sim of orangebloods.com joining us at 8 o'clock, and Ann Parker Coleman of KView joins us at 8:17. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion or get yourself a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, all you got to do is leave the message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive it and we'll let you know if you won. Well, last night in Norman, Oklahoma, the Texas baseball team went on the road with visions of not only just winning the game, but the possibility of winning the SEC championship. And Texas went out and made things happen.
So Bowden ready to work to Farmer, and he swings at the first pitch and drives it into left field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Coming to the plate and scoring the tying run for Texas is Borba. Tommy Farmer, the fourth, not wasting any time. He drives the first pitch into left field, and we start all over again, tied at 3.
Yeah, they tied the game up at 3, but then our guy, who's been Mr. Consistent, Kimball Schuessler, comes up with a big knock.
Schuessler back in the box. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the count. The right-hander, Jason Bowden, with the pitch. Swung on and a ground ball hit to the right side, and it's through! Rounding third, Galvan. Coming in to score the go-ahead run. Over to third base is Rodriguez. Kimball Schuessler fights through with an opposite field dribbler through the hole. And the Longhorns have their first lead of the night. They're up 4-3.
Well, they came back and tied the game, but it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for a great play from Will Gasparino, who came in for Jonah Williams, who was playing left field.
Here's the stretch. The 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Scott Mudler. He swings here and a fly ball, sinking liner to right, coming on, Gasparino, a sliding catch to end the inning. Will Gasparino, excellent sliding catch to keep this a tied game.
But the story of the night was the return of Mad Max Ballou. He had been sitting out for 26 games. He missed 26 games. And yet, he comes back after an 0 for 4 start. Can't keep a good man down.
First pitch, Ballou swings and hits a ball well. This one, out to deep center, back to the warning track. You can say goodnight to it. Welcome back, Max Ballou. A bomb off the wall, the batter's eye in dead center, and the Longhorns now lead it 7-4.
Not only did they lead it, there was some action that was going on as Tennessee and Arkansas were battling. Tennessee ends up knocking off Arkansas, and, well, Texas gets to tip their cap and light the tower orange.
The Longhorns 1 strike away. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dylan Volandis, the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! He struck him out in their first season as a member of the Southeastern Conference. The Texas Longhorns are SEC champions.
That was outstanding, man.
Craig Way is so good.
Yeah, Craig and Keith, they did an unbelievable job. They've been chronicling this journey for the Texas Longhorn baseball team. Coach Schlossnagle being able to come in his first year.
First year, man.
Go into the SEC and be able to win a share. Well, at first it was going to be a share. Now it's outright because Tennessee beat Arkansas and South Carolina beat LSU last night. So Texas comes into the SEC first year, and I'll get into some of the numbers. But you start to look at what Schlossnagle was able to do. It's a blessing and a curse because now the expectations are through the roof. They had the same expectations, but coming in the first year in the vaunted SEC, and you get a championship in your first year.
Yep, it's a good day to be a Longhorn, I tell you what.
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's the start with that. But one of the things I want to talk about is this team and the resilience of this team. They're facing, Coach, that's one of the best pitchers in America, without a doubt. And they found a way to be resilient and then win it late.
Yeah, I thought we battled him. We had some balls fall in, but had some really good at-bats. And I felt like, Bing did okay, and Saunier kept us close. And that's all you can ask for, is to try and keep it close and then maybe try and beat one of the guys at the end of the game. And sure, I'm glad that Baloo's back. That's makes a big difference in our offense.
Well, it does. I mean, that's where I was going to go from that. I mean, you're trying to get him in. You're doing everything you can to protect him, but also help the team. And you said this week that he got a few simulated at bats, and then today he looked a little bit rusty, but then came up big when it needed it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a competitor. We saw at the beginning of the year. He missed 2 weeks. I mean, he missed 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the season, and then stepped right in there in the first game of the year and did awesome. So he's kind of like you, man. He can roll out on Christmas morning and hit. And he faced some great pitchers tonight, but he came up when we needed him.
Last thing is, you and your staff, this happening, it's a crazy thing to think about. It's what you look for when you went to work here, is to win one of these, but you have clinched at least a share of the Southeast Conference Championship. That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. What a credit to our players and coaches, man. I mean, I know we have loftier goals, but as I've said before, it's tougher to win an SEC regular season title than it is to win a national title. And we want to win a national title, but to do that over the course of 10 weeks and be the best team, or at least one of the best teams, is a great deal. And I'm super proud of our guys.
Congratulations to you and your players and your staff.
Thanks, brother.
I cannot wait to have Coach Schlossnagle on and ask him, is this the best job that he ever did? Is this coming to Texas and winning the SEC in his first year with players that he knows, but he really didn't have a long time to get them in his mold? Is this the best job that he's done as a coach?
Well, his turnaround at every university that he has been at has been remarkable. I mean, he's taken teams to World Series. He's taken teams to conference titles. But going into his first year into the SEC, the mighty SEC, as everyone was talking about it, when everybody was coming in initially, they were looking at it and trying to figure out what was next. And Danny Davis, who does a great job, you can hear Danny on Wednesdays with us right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. He put in, he did a deep dive, as he always does. He says all-time SEC baseball debuts. Arkansas debuted in 1992. They went 10-13, and they finished third in the SEC West. South Carolina, 1992, they went 13-11, and they went, they were second in the SEC East. This is when they were divided in sides. Texas A&M went in 2013. They were 13-6 and sixth in the SEC West. Missouri 2013, they were 10-20, fifth in the SEC East. Texas comes in 21-7, clinched first place. Oklahoma came in this year 13-15, and currently sitting at 11th place. So what they've been able to do has been nothing short of outstanding. Then you look at it, he posted this too. He says, years that it took Texas baseball coaches to win their first conference championship. Bib Falk took him in his first year in the Southwest Conference. Coach Gustafson, who recruited me, who signed me, it was his first year in the Southwest Conference. Augie Garrido, it took him 6 seasons, 6, to win his first Big 12 championship. David Pierce, two years before he could win his Big 12 championship, but it took Coach Schlossnagle 1 season to come in and win it.
He the best.
There's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer. There's a reason why they felt this was the move. And the fact of the matter is this team has gone through so much adversity, so much turmoil internally with injuries. For them to come out and play the way that they did their first year in it, as Tennessee is the defending national champion. Year before that, it was LSU. You come in and you win all those series that Texas was able to win in your first season. That's nothing short of remarkable. So that's why they lit the tower orange last night. Drew Martin said, light it. That's exactly what they did. I'll shed light on what Texas' first year in the SEC has looked like in all sports. But coming up next, we're going to talk a lot about the NBA playoffs. We got a Game 7, folks, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch. Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill. The warning track to the wall. It's gone. Jolie Mitchell for the second game in a row. A round tripper, and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the seventh inning. As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeart Radio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. We see how that accident reported at FM 973 at Hog Eye Road, causing no delay at this point. Disabled vehicle did clear out, though, US 183 northbound at FM 973, and another disabled vehicle cleared out, I-35 southbound at Runberg Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Whether you suffer a motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, or any other unforeseen mishap, recovering from a serious injury, loss of income, or personal property is inevitably your number one goal. At DJC Law, your recovery is always their number one goal. The real people who help real people fight for the rights and compensation they deserve. Navigating the legal aftermath from an accident can be overwhelming, and DJC Law has over 25 years of experience negotiating with insurance companies to maximize the value of the claim and protect the victim's rights. Call DJC Law at 512-888-9999 for a free no-risk consultation. They can meet you in their office, at your home, or in the hospital, and you pay nothing unless they win. Call 512-888-9999. If you're injured in an accident, don't settle. Call 512-888-9999 and get your justice. TeamJustice.com. DJC Law Principal Office in Austin, Texas.
Spurs Sports Academy summer camps are back, now in San Antonio and Austin, June through August. Choose from a variety of camps for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels. Get elite training, court time, custom awards, and appearances by Spurs players and more. Lock in your spot now at spurs.com/summer camps.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $100,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Listen to what Dave Ryan says about Andro 400.
Andro 400, I really love it. It's amazing to me that I feel so good. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy to walk, energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again. And feels like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man. I'm taking this stuff to the grave with me.
Men, have you lost energy and gained belly fat? Are you feeling stressed out? Fight back with Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to increase your testosterone. For over a decade, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger. Go to andro400.com. andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Made for This Mountain exists to empower listeners to rise above their struggles and face the mountain in front of them. So during Mental Health Awareness Month, focus on your emotional well-being. Tune into the podcast and climb that mountain.
You will never be able to change or grow through the thing that you refuse to identify. The thing that you refuse to say, hey, this is my mountain. This is the struggle.
Listen to Made for This Mountain on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Made for This Mountain.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It is a feel good Friday of the morning kickoff as we get ready to make things happen. Let's get right into it because Texas Longhorn, obviously, we've talked about them being the SEC champion, but right now we want to talk some NBA basketball, and it is one of those things that we continue to look at and say, I want a game 7. I want a game 7 because both of these teams are really good and they battle through so much more. And what we saw last night was another great performance by the Denver Nuggets against the OKC Thunder. And, of course, we had what you like to call a flu game because we found out that Jamal Murray was dealing with the flu, but he came out and thought he was MJ.
He had an opportunity to get into his pull-up. He didn't. Led to a turnover on that possession.
Murray for three. Got it and a foul. Chance at a 4-point play for Jamal Murray. Now you got Murray with Holmgren defending him. Murray, nice move off the bounce. And Jamal Murray, a hot start. He's got 6 points. Murray hasn't scored in the quarter. 11 in the first. Driving here. Goes to the left hand. What a sweet move. Hanging and finishing Jamal Murray.
You have difficult decisions for the backline defender. And Jokic, when to step up. And when he does, you've got cutters along the baseline.
Count that one and a foul. Murray knifing through the defense. Murray with 6 on the shot clock. Draws Hartenstein on the switch. Fires underneath. Strother puts it in. Julian Strother staying in the game. He had 8 points there off the bench. Had 9 in a game in this playoffs. 3-pointer from Jamal Murray goes down. He's got 25. Denver has its largest lead with a team-high 25 points. Jokic.
Team high 25 points, but the other part of it was you heard the name Julian Strother. He came off the bench and had 15 points, and he was unstoppable. He was doing anything he wanted to, playing clutch defense, was 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point line, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. What a great performance by that young man.
I try to keep it going. I don't start him, but he's my new 6th man. You're coming in, Julian. Be ready because about 6 minutes into this first quarter, I'm bringing you off the bench. And I'm sure that him and Russ together with the veteran leadership of Russ, I think they found another weapon.
Yeah, it is. We were talking about this last night as we were watching the game, and I kept thinking to myself, one of the things that this young coach has been able to do, because let's not forget, 3 games left in the season, they fire Mike Malone. And you're trying to figure out how this team's direction is going to go. Well, you talked about the leadership and some of the guys that are on the squad, but you truly try to figure out the rotation and how you're going to be able to go into these games. And I think sometimes they leave Russ on the bench a little bit too long when they need to get some energy going. Because there are some times in these ball games that they don't come out and play well in the very beginning. And you wait a little bit too long, and the separator is just that. But they find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
You have the Joker who finally got to the free throw line. He shot 12 free throws yesterday. And again, he played 41 minutes. Jamal Murray played 42 minutes. Russ and Strother played 37 combined minutes. And Aaron Gordon struggling a little bit.
Well, I think he pulled his hamstring.
Right.
Like Curry did.
And he played 38 minutes yesterday. Christian Brown has done an unbelievable job. That kid has gotten better and better and better.
Yes,
when he was at Kansas, didn't know exactly how good he was going to be and how his game was going to translate in the NBA. But it has translated well, and he has been a vital part of the success of this team.
A lot of people, when he came out, talked about him being an athlete.
Yeah.
He's as fast dribbling the ball as anybody in the NBA. Did you know that, right?
Yeah.
And he can leap out of the gym, change the light bulb in the gym. The dude can jump. And a lot of people look at him and they give him that side eye, but not realizing that he's one of the most impressive athletes in the NBA. It was his ability to adjust to learning offenses is what I was hearing about him from the source that I always ask about basketball. But he's adjusting really nice in Denver, and it helps to have somebody like the Joker being the guy that's telling you where to be and where he needs you.
Yeah, this team is doing everything they possibly can to get to that next round, because if they can get there, they get a little bit of rest, they get some time off, and they won't play again. Excuse me. The game is on Sunday. Game 7 is on Sunday. They won't play again until Tuesday. So they are trying to get these things ready to go. So they need to make sure that they're ready to go and locked in, so they get some time to get back and get ready to play. Sunday, 2:30, Game 7. Tonight, we have Boston at New York. They're trying to force a Game 7. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, Mark, is looking at OKC, looking at the way that they have been able to get through, some of the different players that have been able to step up during this time. If you had to pick right now to win this game, who wins this game on Sunday?
I'd say OKC.
Because they're at home?
One, because they're at home. That's secondary to the fact that I think that they're going to run now. Gordon is injured, and him being injured is going to play a big role in it. They're going to need him. If Gordon can't go 100%, this could be ugly.
You think it could get ugly?
It could get ugly.
Ugh.
You remember, nobody had more points difference than Oklahoma City did this season.
Right.
And it was because they were able to they have so much depth. They can keep running at people. And if Gordon, one of the best players on the floor, is not able to run, it's going to get ugly.
Okay. Well, I look at it and I say, if Jalen Williams can step up, the one that's spelled Jalen Williams, number 8, if he steps up and plays well, then yeah, I can see that happening. But if he continues to play the way he has these last couple games where he's been a non-factor, I think that Denver can win the ball game on Sunday. I think they can. OKC can run all they want, but it's one possession. You can slow them down as long as they don't speed you up. If you play your game and they could get out, I mean, they'll get a 3, they'll get a 2. They're not going to run you out of the gym just because of that.
And Shea has yet to take over a game in this series.
Yeah, I thought last night was his first opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go through one of those stretches where he took 10 consecutive shots like he's done this season.
Well, they want to try to figure out if Jalen Brunson and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander go to the same trainer, because they both fall down after every shot and get a foul called against them.
But they get hit.
Yeah.
Saying, like Joker, I was cheering.
Joker should be the one getting the free throw line. He gets hit every time.
He does, but he also flails his arms and tries to hit you back, a la Draymond Green.
Oh, so
he's got to chill out with that.
You trying to ban him too?
No, I'm not banning him. I like him too much.
I'm like,
I just want him to
get out
stop.
the Joker like that.
I just want him to stop before somebody gets an attitude and cracks him one.
Well, if they don't want to smoke with him and
not
his
with
brothers.
not with his brothers in the crowd.
No, you don't want to smoke if you're going to do that. So just take it and move on. Just take it and move on. And you're right. They do play a lot of guys off of their bench. I think every single person that suited out yesterday got some minutes except for Kenrich Williams. He was the only one who did not play
How
for
bad is
OKC.
he?
He's not that bad. I thought that he was going to be better suited for what this game brings because he can play defense. I'm shocked that he's not getting any of that kind of run, but they got so much depth to your point. We'll see what the injury does for Aaron Gordon and what the expectations are for him, because if you're right, if he's not there, it could be a little bit tough, but you got the MVP on the team. You got Jamal Murray playing through the flu, and you got Russ, who is dying to get to the championship round. And I'm hopeful that he does. Coming up next, we're going to talk Dallas Cowboys. I know. But we're going to hear from the ones that Mark did not want talking. Coming up next, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. In the Manor area, that accident cleared out. FM 973 at Hog-Eye Road. Also, a disabled vehicle cleared out as well. US 183 northbound at FM 973. And then finally, an accident did clear again. I-35 frontage, southbound at West Slaughter Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Graduation caps are fixing to be flying and summer plans are heating up. So why not kick it all off with a brand new Chevy from Covert Hutto? Check out deals like $12,250 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST, $4,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier, and $4,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Equinox LT. See dealer for details. Covert has been family owned since 1909 because trust, value, and Texas pride never go out of style. CovertChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Kubota Orange Days delivers the savings you need for the life you love. Shop a wide selection of equipment at your local dealer, including America's #1 selling compact tractor, and get your perfect match delivered to your door. Designed for comfort and built for performance. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. Sales ending soon. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The full NFL schedule is out. Cowboys will be featured on Thursday, a league record 4 times, including a Thanksgiving matchup against the Chiefs at home. Texans will visit the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football Week 14. Astros beat the Royals, take 2 of 3 in Houston. Timberwolves knocked off the Warriors to advance to their second straight West Finals. Celtics beat the Knicks to stay alive. I'm Ron Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on. CordellCordell.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
Welcome back to the Hardge Knocks Live segment right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone coming up in the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. We'll have Zach Sim of Orange Bloods as he talks a lot about the Texas Longhorns baseball team and what we saw last night and what we can see moving forward. We also will have Ann Parker Coleman joining us at 8:17 of KView to talk all things Texas Longhorns as well. But right now, I want you to hear from Jerry Jones. He spoke once again talking about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons has been doing everything he possibly can to say the right things, to be a part of the right conversation and where they are going. You haven't seen or heard anything negative besides that one little dust up that they had during that time. But guess what? They're still moving forward, and Jerry had a lot to say about it.
We'll talk. When you say most of the issues you have an agreement on, you're talking about money? Of course. Yes.
But no contract issues.
Right.
But, term.
Yes.
Term, guarantees, money, all those things. We've had a meeting of the minds on.
Why have you not had that same meeting of mind with his agent?
Well, I don't know that, it's I'm the one who has to sign the check, and Michael's the one that has to agree to it. So that's the straightest way to get there is the one writing the check and the one agreeing to it talking. And that's the principle that's involved here. And I understand all the other issues, but as you know, it's not uncommon for me to negotiate directly with players, and I've done that. And so we are there. I don't view it as urgent at all. And, some say, well,
Does Jerry realize he don't have to answer questions?
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes when you got a good relationship with a lot of people in the press, that was our guy Clarence Hill that was conducting that interview, and Clarence has been there for a very, very long time.
How about this? Clarence, you know better than I do how these things work out. We got a little bit to go.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it done. End of quote.
Why?
Hush up, man. Be quiet.
What did he say that
Mind
you
your
did?
business.
What did he say that you did not?
I just hate the babble about the business and what's being done behind the scenes. Like, I don't want to know, especially as it relates to them, because Jerry is not doing it because he's trying to keep you informed. He's doing it because he likes to hear his voice.
He got asked the question. So he had to answer the question. Again, he's comfortable talking to Clarence. Clarence is a guy that has been there. Clarence goes on those trips with them. Clarence is he is a Cowboy insider.
Oh, so he's on the plane.
He gets to go on the bus when they go out to training camp. He spends time with Jerry. They have a relationship. So of course he's gonna give a little bit more than what he would give to somebody like us. He probably wouldn't give us that conversation, but he'll give somebody like Clarence that. But Stephen Jones also talked about his son Stephen had a conversation as well.
Talking.
Oh yeah. And he was talking about the Cowboys offense and what is all being changed as they've signed a bunch of guys as well.
Oh, I just think he brings when you break the huddle, you always want them, you want weapons. And certainly, I saw something where, CD and George, I think if you put their stats together, I think they may be the two most productive guys over the last 2 years. On one team. So certainly, we were needing that. And, you bring, the juice of a Blue, that we drafted there. That's why we picked him. I mean, you see a lot of times a 4.4 out beside a guy's name and you turn on the tape, you say, where is it? His is the opposite. He should have ran a 4.3 when you turn on the tape. And, but anyway, we just really, and then of course, beefing up that offensive line for Dak and giving him the time and also, giving juice to the run game. When you had a guy like Booker, I just think the offseason really came together good for us, and we feel really good about our football team, not to mention saw Sam Williams running around out there yesterday at the golf tournament, and he looks ready to go. And you start to look at all the guys we're going to get back that didn't actually play last year. It's a good feeling.
And that is why Troy Aikman said that they are a Super Bowl contender, in case you were wondering. That is why Mark did his take yesterday on the Dallas Cowboys and how people look at them. Is that why they are considered America's team? Well, Adam Schefter also addressed the conversation about the Dallas Cowboys and America's team.
First of all, let me say this about the Dallas Cowboys. We've never seen this happen before, but they play 4 games this week on Thursdays. 4. Week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 3, week 14 against Detroit. Week 17 against Washington. The Cowboys are not only America's team, they are Thursday's team this year. But the other thing is the NFL must be really determined to try to break up families this year, because the schedule it's set on Thanksgiving is the best Thanksgiving schedule that we've seen in recent memory. We've got the Packers and the Lions. We've got the Chiefs and the Cowboys. We've got the Bengals and the Ravens. So again, Thanksgiving, I know people are going to be gathered around the table. I'll be gathered around my TV watching those games. And by the way, Christmas is also really appealing. So the NFL, I know that they fashion themselves as a family sport. I think they're family records this year with all the games that they scheduled on all these holidays. And the Cowboys obviously have the most enticing, appetizing Thanksgiving Day matchup that we can remember in recent memory against the team that's playing on every single national holiday and every single day of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs.
How you feel there, Mark?
I'm feel good.
I
feel pretty good. I mean, you look at that list that we put up yesterday, and I think it's favorable for the Cowboys on those.
You don't look like it's too favorable. You didn't put them at 8 and 9, and I gave you your number back. I gave you your number back. I gave you your 8 and 9. You're not feeling too good about that. Did you not hear what Stephen Jones said? New beefed up offensive line.
Yeah.
Speed with Jaden Blue. You got George Pickens. You got a road grader in Booker that you took in the first round. And oh yeah, they brought back Sam Williams looking good running around at the golf tournament. That's where they lost me at.
That's where you lost. That's where they lost.
Why he running around at a golf tournament?
Why is he running?
Exactly. He
They got
be
carts.
Yes. Thank you. And I've seen him in.
Sound like some bullshit. Shut your mouth.
It's something that they're getting done, and I'm excited about the Cowboys again. I'm all in. Well, just a little bit. I ain't all in. When we come back, we'll hear from Mike White. That's right. We had a conversation with Mike White yesterday, but he also entered the dome of success with Augie Garrido. I'll tell you all about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh.
Okay.
There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. In the Manor area, that accident cleared out. FM 973 at Hogeye Road. Also, a disabled vehicle cleared out as well. US 183 northbound at FM 973. And then finally, an accident did clear again. I-35 frontage southbound at West Slaughter Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt glide miter saw, you'll feel like the smoothest cat on this side of Smoothville. Meow. And when you make cuts this smooth, get the Bosch 18-volt glide miter saw. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big Three this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big Three. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
I want you to ask yourself right now, how am I actually doing? Because it's a question that we rarely ask ourselves. All of May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, and on the Psychology of Your 20s, we are taking a vulnerable look at why mental health is so hard to talk about. Prepare for our conversations to go deep.
I spent the majority of my teenage years and my 20s just feeling absolutely terrified.
So this Mental Health Awareness Month, open the free iHeartRadio app, search the Psychology of Your 20s, and listen now.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. Carvana makes car buying easy. Isn't that right, hun? Dax?
Sorry, did you know about this 7-day money-back guarantee?
A week to break in the seats?
A week of terrain tests?
Oh,
we still need to buy the car.
Buy your car with Carvana today.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
We are the boy band. Your tween made you see. We are the boy band. It's painful concert number 3. We are the boy band. We're 5 and 19. We are the boy band. Always singing on key.
You love your kids enough to take them to see their favorite band. Love them enough to make sure they're buckled up in the back seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Hear that music, it kind of makes you think, what in the world are they doing over there? Well, we're giving you an opportunity to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest October the 25th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you have to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that you have us #1 on your preset. Tap that red microphone and leave us the word Cooper. Cooper is the word for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, October the 25th at the Germania Amphitheater.
Monster trucks. They dive, they spin, they jump over things. Come on out. Bring the whole family. Enjoy.
Make sure you get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. By leaving the keyword Cooper. Mark, we're going to talk a little bit more baseball here at the top of the hour when Zach Sim of orangebloods.com joins us. But right now we need to get into Texas softball. I mentioned that Mike White, and if you missed our interview with Mike White yesterday, get over to our podcast page on wherever you get your podcast and look for the morning kickoff, and you can go back and listen to the podcast with Mike White. And he talked about this softball team, the expectations, the changes that have happened. And during our conversation, he had mentioned, you told him to get me to go over there and do a motivational speech. Well, he had mentioned Augie. He had mentioned Augie Garrido, the late, great Augie Garrido, and they talked about the conversation that was had by Coach Mike White and channeling Augie Garrido.
Yeah, we had a Augie speech, so Garrido speech, so maybe that was part of it. But that's kind of how it felt, at the time. It was disappointing to see the way we lost and how many runs we gave up.
The entire speech was just like, it's not a loss if you learn from it. And knowing that postseason was coming up, we couldn't have our minds set on that game. And even though A&M is a great team and they fought really hard that game, we have to take the lessons from it and continue forward.
Well, a lot of it is, grit, coming down to grit and finding a way to the will to win. Will's got to be greater than your skill. Obviously, we're a very skilled team, but we just got to make sure we have that grit and who's going to step up when the proverbial hits the fan.
He had to make it happen. And for this team, you had to get that darkness out of your mind. That loss to Texas A&M was just that. You lost to Texas A&M, you lost to a rival, but you knew what was ahead of you. You knew there was going to be an opportunity for you to be a host site for the NCAA tournament. They got that. Now the schedule is set up in their favor. They got a chance to win the whole thing. It's not going to be easy, as they will take on Eastern Illinois today at 3:30. You can hear the game right here on AM 1300, The Zone. But they will have to come out and play well and do the things that made them the number one team in the land.
Well, I tell you what, whenever you have adversity and you dwell on it, I just told you today, I don't look back in the past. I have that as a reference of failure, and I don't want to taste that again. So you have to acknowledge it.
Yep.
But you got to let it go and keep moving.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're going to stay there. And misery loves company. So if you stay there, it's partly your fault.
Yeah, you got to be able to move on and continue to make things happen. And they will play the winner. If they win the game, they will play the winner of the Michigan and UCF matchup. They kick it off at 1 o'clock on ESPN2, so you can get to see that. And then you'll be able to watch Texas and Eastern Illinois. They will tip off. They will have first pitch at 3:30, but you'll have to watch that on ESPN Plus. So if you're watching it on ESPN Plus, all you got to do is make sure you have Andrew Haynes on AM 1300, The Zone, and you can sync it up with your TV, and you don't even have to do that. You can just watch the game or listen to the game right here on AM 1300, The Zone. Just for reference, Texas played a 3-game series in Orlando last year, late in March. They won the series against UCF 5-0, 4-2, and then 3-1. So they do have a relationship with them. But Michigan is the one that has a better record against the Longhorns in their career. But it's been a while since they played each other. The last time they played each other was in 2020. So it's been a while since they have been able to do that.
COVID.
So, yeah, that was that COVID year. Dang, you coughing about it? Anyway, we also had 6 players from the Texas softball team make all-Central Texas team. Tegan Kavan, the pitcher, Reese Atwood, the catcher, Mia Scott, third baseman, Caden Henry of the outfield, Ashton Maloney of the outfield, all earned all-Central first team honors, while Katie Stewart, who's a designated player and a utility pitcher, was named to the second team. Five first-team selections for Texas was the most of any program in the Central region. Texas had 5, Texas A&M had 4, Texas Tech had 2, Arkansas 1, and New Mexico State had 1. Mia Scott, 438 batting average. Henry has a 420 batting average. Maloney has 419. And Atwood, who pretty much has every single offensive record that you could possibly have at the University of Texas, batted 408, where Stewart batted 362. And those are 5 of the top 6 batting averages for the University of Texas. Mia Scott had 15 doubles, Atwood 17 home runs, Stewart had 72 RBIs, Maloney had 75 hits, and Henry scored 60 runs. And of course, Tegan Kavan is the best pitcher in the land as far as we're concerned, with a 21-4 record and 188 strikeouts in 150 innings. So Texas will begin its part of the Austin Regional today, 3:30. Listen to the game right here. If not, get out to the ballpark at Red and Charlene McCombs Field, as they will get ready to host the regional. Coming up next, we got Zach Sim of Orange Bloods talking all things SEC champs. That's right. Texas Longhorns, SEC champs.
Let's go.
And we'll discuss it coming up next, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Maynard Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad, on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are reigning. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Some big news. Iran is threatening to wipe Israel off the map and destroy America. Now, UN inspectors say Iran is close to getting nuclear weapons, just weeks away. But President Trump vows he won't let them. He's even moved 2 aircraft carriers to the area. This is a big story, and Newsmax's Rob Finnerty is covering it all this week and exposing the real threat. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight for Rob's series, Stop Iran, and find out Trump's secret plan to fix this. Watch Finnerty on Newsmax on all major cable systems. President Trump says he watches Newsmax all the time. You should too. So download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and sign up for Newsmax Plus to watch us anytime, anywhere. Millions are making the switch to Newsmax because it's real news for real people.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they were 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media. Even twice as many teens than TikTok. And that reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for your business. Radio's here now more than ever, and iHeart's leading the way. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio, where the reach is real. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, just call 844-844-iHeart and get radio working for you.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. In hour number 1, we talked about we finally get a Game 7 in the NBA. And we also got to hear about the Dallas Cowboys. We also just previewed Mike White and the softball team. But we started the show with announcing that the Texas baseball team is the regular season SEC champs. And what better way to continue these conversations than having our guy, Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com. Zach, Texas, in an unorthodox way, found a way to get it done last night, as they did all season. And here they are waking up this morning as SEC regular season champs?
Hey, y'all, how's it going? And yeah, Light the Tower. That was a fun and interesting game. Max Ballou announced his presence back in the 9th inning. That was something else to behold.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you sit back and you think about the journey of everything that's kind of happened. Max misses 26 games. He misses a bunch of time during the offseason, leading into the regular season, gets hurt, and then all of a sudden things just seem to happen for them. Now you get there, you piece together a Friday night start with Cade Bing and bring in the middle relievers, and then you find a way to get the ball to Volantis at the end. I mean, they just find a way to get things done.
Yeah, it's this team has shown such resiliency throughout the entire season. Galvan's just been absolutely battered behind the plate. Kimball Schuessler, the super senior. They just have guys step up every night. And last night was Tommy Farmer, and I don't think that could be overlooked as Tommy Farmer got chosen to start in center field over Will Gasparino. And, they chose to put the left-handed hitting Joan out there because Kyson is obviously right-handed. What does Tommy Farmer come up with? A 3-for-4 night, and he had the huge RBI single or 2 RBI single. And yeah, it's just like, it feels like they got back to that rhythm where they're putting together good at-bats. They were looking for their pitch. They weren't letting the pitcher dictate to them. And they came through with a big hit. And, even Volantis, he didn't have his sharpest stuff last night. I think that was the first time I've seen him hit a batter. But at the end of the day, they got it done, right? And that's all that matters. So, yeah, a huge win for the program. I know the coaches were just ecstatic last night. So it was really cool to see.
Brother, I have all the trust in the world in Coach Schlossnagle. Do you think that now that they're starting to get healthy, that their winning streak will start back and they'll get back going, and B, Blue actually looks the way that he looked before he was injured once he gets a few games under his belt?
I think so. This is a team that's still got a lot of really talented pieces, and it wasn't like they were just completely, falling on their face. They were still battling. It just wasn't kind of clicking for them. And as I'm sure Mike can attest to, like when you're clicking, those hits just seem to drop in, right? The balls just seem to carry a little bit further. So with Max coming back, and he definitely looked rusty in his first couple of at-bats. I mean, he was 0 for 4 going into that last at-bat. I think you have kind of the signs of, okay, this is what we saw earlier in the season, and this is something we can continue to build on. Now, thing is, you got to stay healthy, right? Like A-Rod, that hand is obviously still bothering him.
Yep.
Galvan, as I said, got beat up, and I know he didn't tweak anything, but he certainly wasn't comfortable on his last round of bases. So, you won the SEC championship. It might be time to start kind of switching some guys in and out and getting a little rest here and there, because regionals is coming quick.
Yeah, no doubt. We're talking to our guy, Zach Sim of orangebloods.com. You can follow him on social media at Zach at the Dish. And Zach, you mentioned something there about some of these guys being banged up, and it did look uncomfortable for a while for A-Rod yesterday at the plate, especially during that last at-bat when he got hit in the knee. So you start looking at that as well. I am in agreement with you that maybe this is the time to sit a couple guys, because the SEC tournament, now that you won, you're the number 1 seed. You won't play until Thursday. Now you can try to set up this pitching rotation. But I want to talk about the pitching rotation because he did make some changes in it yesterday by starting Cade Bing and then coming in with Saucier. What do you think that was from?
I think it was just Schlossnagle trying to get things aligned for regional play, knowing that there was going to be a Thursday game in the first round, or the quarterfinals technically, of the NCAA SEC tournament. That you're going to be on short rest potentially, and so you don't want to tax your guys. So getting Ruger to his normal rest, so keeping him on a Friday night, getting Harrison his normal rest, keeping him on a Saturday, and this point in the season, you've kind of built up your resume to where you've got some familiarity and you've got some confidence in what you are. And so they got to test and experiment. And I think, it wasn't a perfect outing by Bing, but, he battled for a couple innings and then he turned it over to Saunier, who I thought was really impressed. He continues to just battle out there and show that he's got that veteran experience from the SEC to give you some length. And then Burns, I thought was exceptional last night. In fact, I may have commented to one of my friends, I wouldn't have even burned Volantis. I'd just leave Burns out there and let him continue to throw 98 down the pipe. So, but yeah, it's, the good news is that I think Sloss-Nagle took that into account going into this weekend series, that he's got to start getting everything aligned. And I think that's what you saw last night.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I was thinking about as well. But I also know when we've seen it from Sloss-Nagle, he knew that he needed to get game one. You're going up against the best pitcher in the SEC, and you have a chance to get that game one victory. He was like, let's go get it. And now you can actually sit Volantis until Saturday if you need it. And I want to go back to something you were talking about just a minute ago about battling through these things. Early in the season, you and I had conversations about Texas coming up with the timely hits. Well, what ended up happening is Texas wasn't getting those hits during the time of struggle, those 2-out knocks. Now they got them last night. And I believe, to your point, you brought up Tommy Farmer. He was a guy that didn't even get a chance to really play last year. And Coach Sloss-Nagle at the beginning of the season mentioned his name first about somebody that can impress. What do you take from Tommy Farmer's growth this season?
Tommy Farmer is a really interesting character.
For sure.
He's from Northern California, and a lot of those Northern Cali kids, they just don't get the same kind of attention and recognition that they probably should, just because they don't get covered the same way that you would in like an Alabama or Texas or Georgia. And so you've got kids that kind of fly under the radar, and sometimes they'll have, kind of more senior laden teams. And so as a young guy, you don't get a lot of at-bats, you don't get a lot of attention, and all of a sudden they explode late. And that's where you see these guys like Tommy Farmer come out of nowhere, and you're like, this guy's a physical specimen. He's 6'2", 6'3", he can run like the wind, and he covers everything really well and defends. And then he doesn't have the most power naturally, but he's just got a nice swing to him. And so he's able to keep the bat on the ball. But yeah, his growth, I think he appeared in 16 games last season. You can't state how big he has been influential on the outfield, especially with Baloo out. Because, Jonah, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's the everyday starter now. He wasn't even a contention to start because of the injury coming into the season. And so his ability to beat out a guy that's got a lot of at-bats in Winfield and, is kind of stick through the offensive struggles has been really impressive.
No doubt. And I want to ask you this, because I want to know, the season obviously is still yet to be finished, so there's going to be a lot going on. But if you write your story about this season, what would be the headline?
I think the resiliency. First year in the SEC, at the end of the day, it's a game of baseball, right? You have to just play whoever's in front of you. It doesn't matter if they're the 72 Yankees or, the Missouri Tigers, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to show up to the park. You still have to be you. You have to have that confidence. And so I think the resiliency that it didn't matter what was in front of them. They continued to battle. They continued to just get better, and they continued to believe in themselves. When they were on the 17-game winning streak, their attitude and approach really didn't change that much from, this past week when they were 1-5 in SEC play over their last 6 games. So I just think the resiliency and how this team has come together is just really special. I think Andre Duplantier mentioned it a couple weeks ago at media availability. He said, I've never been a part of a team that's loved each other like this one has. And that says something. I mean, he's a 6-year senior. Like, he's seen a lot of baseball. He's seen a lot of really good dudes come through the program. But it kind of talks to the special cohesiveness and bond this team has.
How does that play into them playing good baseball because they like each other?
I think it goes back to the heartbeat, right? You have Galvan, who's always there kind of leading the charge. And they take the confidence and they kind of instill that in themselves. They're like, man, if this guy's confident that he can do it, and he believes that I can do it, and he's telling me I can do it, I can probably do it, right? And then you've got the young 17-year-old who is kind of like in the shadow of Galvan from an energy standpoint, hyping everyone up. It's just they have belief in each other. They know, hey man, I've got a bad day, whatever's going on in my personal life or at the plate, something's off. I know that the next guy with me is going to take me up and take up that slack and provide for me. So it's just the belief in each other.
Yeah, I love the fact of that. And you know as well as I do, when you're in a locker room like that, everybody's pulling for each other. They pour into each other. And one thing that Coach Schlossnagle says, the mental part of it is what they work the hardest for. So as always, congratulations to the Texas Longhorns, SEC champions. And of course, thank you, Zach, for keeping us on this journey, man. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
All right. There he is, Zach Sim. Coming up next, we'll have Ann Parker Coleman of K-View joining us to talk SEC champs and, of course, previewing this softball matchup this weekend right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
I was supposed to.
The voice of the Horns, Craig Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
In the Manor area, we have an accident, 290 westbound approaching FM 973. It's about a 10-minute delay right there. Stop and go traffic back to FM 1100. We also have another accident reported, Burnett Road at West Breaker Lane, and another one, FM 973 at FM 969. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Whether you suffer a motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, or any other unforeseen mishap, recovering from a serious injury, loss of income, or personal property is inevitably your number one goal. At DJC Law, your recovery is always their number one goal. The real people who help real people fight for the rights and compensation they deserve. Navigating the legal aftermath from an accident can be overwhelming, and DJC Law has over 25 years of experience negotiating with insurance companies to maximize the value of the claim and protect the victim's rights. Call DJC Law at 512-888-9999 for a free no-risk consultation. They can meet you in their office, at your home, or in the hospital, and you pay nothing unless they win. Call 512-888-9999. If you're injured in an accident, don't settle. Call 512-888-9999 and get your justice. TeamJustice.com. DJC Law Principal Office in Austin, Texas.
Spurs Sports Academy summer camps are back now in San Antonio and Austin, June through August. Choose from a variety of camps for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels. Get elite training, court time, custom awards, and appearances by Spurs players and more. Lock in your spot now at spurs.com/summer camps.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, Spruce, Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
You don't wear football cleats to play tennis, so why wear running shoes to play pickleball? Tyrell pickleball shoes make shoes built for how the game is really played. Quick cuts, fast stops, gritty court surfaces. Tyrell has a Vibram outsole for grip, a wide toe box for comfort, and the kind of support that keeps your ankles out of trouble. We've tried them, and trust me, you'll feel the difference. Check them out at TyrellPickleball.com. Tyrell pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $1,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet will always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, shout cheers to savings.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Mike Hardball, Hard, Marcus Spears, and of course, we've got the world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, and joining us for her weekly segment here on a Feel Good Friday edition is Ann Parker Coleman of KView. You can make sure that you follow her on social media at Ann Parker Cole, the number 1. And Ann Parker, you come into the University of Texas this year for the first time, and you see a football team go and play 4 deep into the playoffs. You get here, you see the women's basketball team win an SEC title, tennis, golf, you name it, you get to be a part of it. And last night, Texas baseball wins their inaugural season in the SEC, and they win the SEC championship. What do you think about that?
I mean, it really is insane, the level of success that Texas has had in their first year in the league. And especially, I think when you look at baseball, there's no doubt SEC is the strongest conference. And for Texas just come in and take over their first year in the league with a brand new coach, I mean, turnarounds like that just don't happen as quickly as it did. I liked Coach Frost. He released a statement last night after the game. He said winning the SEC is harder than winning a national championship. And I like that attitude. I think that there is a level of truth to that. So, hey, if this is so easy, go win a national championship now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let me ask you this, because a lot of people have been talking about Texas and, being a lot of games at home and then going on the road and still having success. They have the most quad one wins this season, tied with Vanderbilt, with now 15 of those wins. I think if you count last night, it might be 16 now, getting those quad one wins. How impressive is this season to the things that you just talked about? New coach, new staff, different players, guys that didn't even get a chance last year, stepping up and now being integral parts of the success of this team.
Yeah, I mean, when you rattle those off, it's incredibly impressive. And then I think when you take a closer look and you think about what the team has been through, it makes it even more impressive. I mean, a lot of this lineup has been hurt and injured. We saw, Jared Spencer, their ace, go down. Max Blue, until last night, he's been out since late March, early April. Adrian Rodriguez has been banged up. So has Ethan Mendoza. This team has had a lot of injuries and a lot of just bad luck when it comes to that. But they have been really, really resilient and have been able to get it done even in the face of some injuries.
And Parker, what's your sensibilities about the way the team, their cohesion now that Blue's back? Do you feel like that they'll be able to resume business as usual, or is it going to take a while for them to adapt?
Yeah, well, I think it's hard to just pin it on one player, but I do think with everything that they've been through the past 2 weeks, I mean, until last night, they'd only won one of their past 6 SEC games. Bats had been pretty out of whack. They had 75 strikeouts over the past 2 SEC series. They have been on a little bit of a slump, and so I think when you get a player like Max Blue back, that does give you a boost. How much of a boost? Hey, it was enough last night up until he hit that 3-run home run to take the lead and eventually the win. He was 0 for 4 from the plate, so it's a lot to put on the shoulders of a player like Max Blue, but they definitely, I think, just in terms of energy in the dugout, that gives you a boost.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're talking to Ann Parker Coleman of KView. You can follow her on social media at Ann Parker Cole and the number 1. And, you know, it's interesting, too, because coming into the season, a lot of people had a lot of question marks, right? And even Coach Schlossnagle, he mentioned it to us at our media availabilities. You know, you just got to make sure that you get 14 or 15 wins in the SEC, and that can help you get yourself into the college baseball playoffs. But now you're sitting here and you're looking at a team that has now clinched an SEC title, 41-10 on the year, 21 victories in the SEC. And now you start playing the game of it's all great, it's all good. But once we get into the playoffs, if you lose, you can be going home. The mentality has to change a lot, and now it seems like he's getting himself prepared to even out this pitching staff to make sure that they're good to go.
Yeah, I think this weekend we're kind of getting our first kind of taste at that. If you look at the rotation, he moved it around this week so that Luke Harrison is still starting on Saturday, kind of saving his arm since it's a Thursday through Saturday series. But I think Ruben Riojas in the Friday night position, that's kind of locked up. What they're really looking for still is that third guy in the rotation. We've seen Jason Flores in there. Last night, Cade Bing made the start. And I think that there's still a lot of question marks when it comes to that. But this weekend, I think, was in large part a lot about playing around with that and getting that rotation set for postseason play.
Let's stay on the diamond, but go over to the softball side. Today, the Texas women softball team will kick off its quest to get to the NCAA championships as they host the regional, starting with the game against Eastern Illinois. I know that you got a chance to talk to the girls yesterday and Coach White. What was your takeaway from that?
Well, the last time they were out on the diamond, they got run ruled by their rival, so we had to ask about that. Obviously, that's not the way that you want to into the regular season before you go into NCAA tournament play. But what I loved is Mike White said, he was like, yeah, it sucks. We had to have an Augie Greedo kind of speech. Like, there was no holding back. They were not happy with the results on that. And so the vibe that I got yesterday when we talked to players was that has really been a lot of fuel to the fire. And so, hey, if they go on a 10-game win streak, if they win it all after this, I'm going to point to that loss right there and that speech that Mike White gave afterwards and say it was because of that.
So let me ask you too, because, you know, I look at these types of matchups and these series, obviously you're going to go with your best pitchers and you're going to continue to get after it. And Tegan Cavan is the ace of this staff, but she's had her struggles a little bit too. And I know that the mental part of this is going to be the biggest thing right now. What did you think that they've been doing to kind of get her right again so she could be ready to go this weekend?
Yeah, it's funny. We actually asked this exact question yesterday. You know, what are your conversations like with somebody like Tegan? And Mike White pretty much said, and some of the players echoed this too, it's for her, it's just about settling her down. She knows what she needs to do, and she's up to the task. But I think sometimes it sounds like she maybe can fall to overthinking, as I've had conversations with Coach White in the past. And so it's just about making sure that she goes out there and is able to play free and clear-minded.
Yeah, and that's a lot of it too. And, you know, Coach Schlossnagel's talked about the mental aspect of the game and how they have really honed in on that part. And I think that, to your point of the conversation that you had with the team about that Augie mindset, and I think that is being part of that as well. So I think we're going to see the best part of this Texas softball team as they get ready for that move to try to get back to Oklahoma City.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And if you're a Texas fan, go on over to the softball stadium this weekend. I mean, the fact that they're hosting a regional is going to be really, really fun. I'm excited to see what they do this weekend.
Yeah, we are too. And as always, we want to thank you for joining us every Friday moving forward at 8:17. We will be talking all things Texas. And I wanted to ask you this too, because Mark is a big foodie. What is something that you've enjoyed since you've moved to Texas?
Oh, gosh. Okay, let me think. What is my favorite restaurant here?
It's a hard decision.
It's a hard to know. I'm thinking hard here.
What's your favorite food, Ann? And Parker, what's your favorite food?
I'm a big quesadilla girl. I love quesadillas, which with all the Mexican food that we have around here probably is a hot take. A quesadilla is kind of like.
Have you been to El Dorado Cafe?
I have not. No.
El Dorado Cafe and Mama Betty's. You need
Okay.
to
I'm gonna write those down. I love El Alma. That's probably my favorite one that I've been to.
Mike don't like to go out with me, so if you want to, you can come out and maybe he'll come.
There.
Maybe he'll come and
we're there. Yep. But hey, guys, listen to the intros. We got the strongest man. We got Hardball. At some point here, I'm gonna need to get a nickname, and I don't think it's gonna be strongest man or Hardball, but something. I need some kind of nickname.
See, you know what? I'm under strict.
Parker.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it because Hard said no. Ann Parker. You call her Ann Parker. Okay, man.
That's right.
Don't debo me.
That's her name. Her name is Ann Parker. That's right. That's right.
Double name.
That's right.
We'll get out to eat and see, like I call my son Puppy because he eat like one.
Well, we're not going to call you that.
We're not going to call you Puppy, but we got to get some FaceTime in order to really give you a name. Get your bones.
I totally agree. These are important.
We got you. So we'll talk to you again, and I'll see you next Wednesday because now we have a special segment on KVU on Wednesday. So I appreciate you, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Appreciate it. When we come back, we got the world's strongest man bringing you the world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, we still have that accident in the Manor area, 290 westbound, approaching FM 973. It's about a 15-minute delay. Stop and go traffic now back to FM 1100. We have an accident reported on Burnett Road at West Breaker Lane. Also another accident at FM 973 at FM 969. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken, coated in tortilla chip breading, and paired with unique dipping sauces. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Hardball Hardge.
And this is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
And we're here to talk to you about MyPlates.com.
Tell them about it, Mike.
Mark, when you're on the road and looking at the vehicles, what's the first thing you see?
Well, I'm usually a nice car, but the plates, baby.
At MyPlates.com, you can create a plate that shows exactly who you are.
Like the one I'm thinking about, the world's strongest man. Had to let them know.
Come on, you can get colors, styles, slogans. My Plates let you flex your Texas pride your way.
Big truck, big attitude, and it's better to have a plate to match.
Hit up myplates.com today and put in the promo code TheZone. That's TheZone, all one word, for up to $55 in savings, and make your ride look as good as you do.
Or even better, myplates.com.
That's the way to go. And tell them Hardball Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, I'm 67 years old. I lost 71 pounds. I was a size 46 pants 2 years ago, and I've been taking it, and I'm a size 36 pants now.
Congratulations, Pat, on losing 71 pounds and 10 inches off your waistline. Now listen to Brian's results.
My sleeping is better. My joint pains are much better, and the weight loss is coming along. I'm about 13 to 14 pounds lighter. It has reduced my sugar cravings big time. Sugar cravings and reduced joint pains, and those two are big time.
Outstanding results, Brian. Guys, since 2004, men have chosen Andro 400 for one reason: results. Andro 400 can help you safely lose belly fat, reduce joint pain, gain energy, and boost your testosterone. We guarantee it. Start today and get free shipping on any order. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts. Only available on andro400.com. andro400.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Partly cloudy for your Friday. Could see a stray shower or storm, a high near 100. Partly cloudy tonight, a low in the mid-70s. Saturday and Sunday, a high in the mid-90s.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in a little out the ride.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more.
Someone like you.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
You heard that beat drop, and you know what that means. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, good fella.
All right.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man, Marcus. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, yesterday I drove and I heard something that bothered me a little bit. Okay, it bothered me a lot, but I put it in its place. And that is a father's responsibility to his son, when to support and when to back off. And I'm talking about Caleb Williams. quarterback, Chicago Bears. Went through a, how would you say, Hardge, a very viewed and visible quarterback situation when he left the University of Oklahoma and went to USC, followed his coach. His father, once he got to the level where he was going to get drafted, didn't want him to go into a situation where there was a lot of ineptitude. Hard, you're a father, so am I. I want the best for my son. I want him to be in the best situation he could be in. But with that being said, you got to know when you're meddling and when you're trying to help. It don't mean that you're right. And I feel like his father was right to help his son. But when it got to the point to where it would affect his son stepped up and said, "Dad, I got it." Because his dad did not want him to go to the Chicago Bears because they haven't had a good quarterback since 1986. There's a lot of players that have went to Chicago and completely disappeared. Same thing with Detroit. Look at Detroit's history. You want your all-star player son to go to Detroit back in the day when you had people like Megatron and Barry Sanders say, "Listen, I'm done. 9 years is enough. I'm not playing anymore. It's not fun. I don't like playing here." I mean, I'm sure that they would love to play now. Good coaching, good front office. It would be lovely. But that's not what Chicago was last year. And the father knew it. Of course, since then, those coaches have been fired. They got new people in. And I want to go on record as saying that his situation in college was not conducive to him being a superior quarterback. When your coach does not teach you how to review film.
That right there is where I have a little bit of discrepancy. Lincoln Riley, I'm sure, taught him how to watch film.
He stated, this is his words. When this book came, all of this came out because of the book.
Yeah.
They did an article that turned into this writer writing a book about Caleb's experience through college to the draft to the pros. And Caleb said, "Well, I really was never taught how to review film." Now, maybe he misphrased it.
I think he wasn't taught how to watch film in the NFL by the Chicago Bears. That's where I think that is true. I would be hard pressed because I've never heard that about Baker Mayfield. I never heard that about Kyler Murray.
Well, you have heard that about Kyler Murray because he says he don't do film.
I'm talking about in college with Lincoln Riley. I'm not talking about NFL playing that. That's why I think that this actual statement was probably misrepresented because I believe that Lincoln Riley will definitely break down film with him. Now, in the NFL, I believe that to be the problem.
My take is this. Don't wait on the franchise to give you a leg up. They pay you millions of dollars. Go out and get a former pro that was historically great at reviewing film. Pre-game reads, pre-snap reads. You do it. Not your dad, not the author of the book. You go out and pay for somebody to come and tutor you on the art of reviewing film. Every team, a breakdown. hey, next week we got Dallas. Next week we got Washington. It's your responsibility to do it. What say you?
Well, I'm going to say this. For a guy that didn't watch film, a guy that wasn't taught what to do, he threw for 3,500 yards and threw 20 touchdowns last year behind a bad offensive line. If Ben Johnson, who resurrected the career of Jared Goff and changed what you saw with the Detroit Lions, if he can come in and teach him how to do those things, we're in for an amazing year when it comes to Caleb Williams, because 20 touchdowns and 3,500 yards, blind leading the blind, that's pretty doggone good.
Pretty good.
That's pretty doggone good. And he's a Heisman Trophy winner that will be able to be talented enough to do the things that he needs to do. You're
Thank
right.
you, Hardge.
As parents, we got to look out for them, but sometimes we got to let them
step back.
forge their paths the way that they want to. Another great take by the world's strongest man. Coming up next, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. But we want you to hear this call by the legendary voice of Craig Way. You do not want to miss it. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1. Swung onto the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it. Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long.
The stretch in the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Got him on the slider, and the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts.
From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone.
Bonus bucks. Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, we still have that action in the Manor area, 290 westbound, approaching FM 973. It's about a 15-minute delay. Stop and go traffic now back to FM 1100. We have an accident reported on Burnett Road at West Breaker Lane. Also another accident at FM 973 at FM 969. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
0628.
No power? No problem. With a whole home backup generator from Abacus. Abacus offers professional Generac installation with extended warranties, financing, and now certified Generac maintenance plans. Abacus, you can count on us.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
I want you to ask yourself right now, how am I actually doing? Because it's a question that we rarely ask ourselves. All of May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, and on the psychology of your 20s, we are taking a vulnerable look at why mental health is so hard to talk about. Prepare for our conversations to go deep.
I spent the majority of my teenage years and my 20s just feeling absolutely terrified.
So this Mental Health Awareness Month, open the free iHeartRadio app, Search The Psychology of Your 20s and listen now.
Attention construction superintendents, contractors, and event planners. If you're in the market for a temporary rental fence, call Viking Fence today. The same company that is so reliable with permanent fences can save you time, money, and headaches. Located in Central Texas since 1972, Viking is highly committed to prompt and courteous customer service. Our flexible pricing plans allow you to fix your costs or hit your budget. Ask about our damage waiver rate that will eliminate untimely chargebacks. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 or visit us online at vikingfence.com. Again, call 837-6411 or visit us at vikingfence.com. When you think temporary rental fence, think Viking.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
What a great week of the show. Morning kickoff, 7 to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. If you're new to it, be true to it. Make sure you stick around.
Come on now.
And continue to enjoy everything that we bring to you. The Texas baseball team will continue its series against Oklahoma tonight. We also have Texas softball that you can hear at 3:30 right here on AM 1300 The Zone. Texas baseball, you can be able to listen to them on 103.1. We also have Boston on the road at the Knicks, 7 p.m. tip-off on ESPN. Will we have another Game 7? I sure hope so, but we shall see if Boston can play on the road without Jason Tatum. Also, Mark, I want to give a shout-out, and I know you are close to these folks as well. We want to give a shout-out to Covert Hutto for me. And you have Covert Bee Caves. I'm actually wearing the Bee Caves hat today.
I see it.
I'm wearing the Bee Caves hat. They've been a great sponsor with us and continue to sponsor us and have us endorse their products. If you're looking for a vehicle, make sure you get over to one of the Coverts. Great folks, great time together. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's
I'll
drive.
be out there Wednesday in Bee Caves shooting a commercial for Covert Bee Caves. So I'm excited about getting out there and hanging out with my guys, man. Mike, I'm on the way, brother. I'll see you next week.
And then also I wanted to bring this up too, because, you know, if you are looking for someone to endorse your products or help you get the word out about it, make sure you hit us up on our social media. You can DM me at Hardball Hardge. You can DM Mark at the Mark Henry. As I told you before, we started the show with the Texas Longhorns being able to be named SEC champs.
The Longhorns 1 strike away. No bowls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dylan Volandis, the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! He struck him out in their first season as a member of the Southeastern Conference. The Texas Longhorns are SEC champions.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. First year in it, didn't know what they were going to get, but then all of a sudden, boom, boom, here we are. Texas wakes up this morning as SEC champs. But there was something else that happened, and I think that we all should be blessed with the fact of Craig Way, the voice, Hall of Fame voice, gets a chance to call a rabbit on the field.
There is a bunny rabbit that has made its way out onto the field.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
And he's headed down to third right now. Now he's running the bases backwards. Stops, posing in front of the Oklahoma dugout.
Now they're going to have somebody
shoot him.
Yeah.
If they can't catch, they would have a hard time, I think, trying to catch Mr. Cottontail as he rolls around now, headed toward the Texas dugout. And he crosses right in front of home plate, up the third base line. Stop, still going, headed right for Nolan Kane. Now passes him and headed down the left field line into the corner. I think the umpires may say he's gone far enough, but they can continue play. Meanwhile,
he left the building.
Yep, he's gone. A moment's entertainment there.
And the thing about it is, I was waiting for him to say, "You can say goodnight to the rabbit," that he was gone. But we didn't get that. But
how did he know that was a bunny rabbit? He need to cut it out.
I mean, what you mean?
Why you call it bunny rabbit? It wasn't no such thing as a bunny rabbit. That's Easter.
So what did you want him to call
Just
it?
a rabbit. It was a rabbit on the field.
The Hall of Famer, voice of the Texas Longhorns. If it is a bunny rabbit, a bear rabbit, or any kind of rabbit, he can call it what he wants.
Craig didn't actually call it a bunny rabbit.
You talking about Keith?
Keith called it a bunny rabbit.
Okay, so you're calling out another Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
On what?
That's what we do.
Oh my goodness. We shall see. This weekend, a lot of great sports that were going on. As we talked about, Texas softball will be playing over at Red and Charlene McCombs Field starting tonight. Mike White and his crew are trying to get back to Oklahoma City to play for a national championship, and that starts today. As I said, Texas baseball will be taking on Oklahoma, looking to win the series after back-to-back weekends where they did not have a series win. Now they're looking to get one against their rival in Oklahoma. We also have golf that is going on. The PGA is going on right now. I'm excited about that because I got a little wager out there on who is going to be able to win that.
Got a problem?
So
1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, make sure you call that number to stop the madness every once in a while. But then, of course, you also got basketball. And we talked about this, Mark. We've been looking at this and seeing how these playoffs are going to play out. We've talked about the injuries throughout. Can the Boston Celtics force a Game 7 by going on the road and taking on the New York Knicks tonight, 7:00 ESPN? Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, who is going to be the one to help their team get to victory? Can the Knicks get to the finals and take on the Indiana Pacers, or do we have a Game 7 that will be forced upon? Yeah, I'm asking that.
I say New York closes out the night.
Okay.
They have to. You don't
Because
take
if they go back
advantage
to
of Boston now.
Yeah.
It's going to hang over your head for life.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going to happen, because the energy that was in the building in Boston, I don't know if it can be replicated. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back to that, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen. As you know, Indiana wins 4 games over the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. They have moved into the Eastern Conference Finals. As we talked about, 3-2 right now. Knicks are up. If they win tonight, the series is over and they'll take on Indiana. But if not, we will have a Game 7 that will be coming up this weekend as well. We also will have the Western Conference Game 7 coming up as well. The Nuggets and the OKC Thunder. That game will take place on Sunday at 2:30. I could not be more excited about that. For Mark Henry, For Marcus, I'm your boy, Hardball Hardge. Have a great, great weekend. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace. Have a great weekend, folks. Graduation season is here and summertime's right behind it. Celebrate big with a new ride from Covert Ford and Hutto. Right now, $14,421 off of MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Limited. $12,346 off of MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Bronco Badlands. $10,138 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Trimmer. See dealer for details. Folks choose Covert because they're family-owned Texas